I want to bring it back to education, right? Because I mean, you look all the way back to slavery, right? They didn't want us to learn. They didn't want us to read. There's a reason for that. Um, do you think there's a way to have better educational outcomes for our community than we're having right now?
Of course there
And
is.
do you think
Of course there is.
school choice is a part of that?
So I was privileged enough to early on. When I had my, I didn't have them when their mother had my twin boys, Raz and Taj. There's a school right down the street from here, on Crenshaw and Slauson. It's called Marcus Garvey, and kids basically they learned two languages outside of English. One of them being Swahili, and then the other one was whatever I guess the options were: French, Spanish, Italian, whatever. Most kids that graduated from there tended to graduate around 10th grade, go off to great schools, but have knowledge of self. What I'm saying is this. We have built this country, but we built it for white men. That's who I always try to tell people, you can go anywhere and know who the boss, who the top of the food chain is. It's on the money. So you know who your daddy is in America because they already put him on the money. If it was niggas, if it was anything else, or Chinese niggas or women, it's not. It's a white guy, old white niggas. So we built it for old white people. We need to understand he don't like when those rules change. Koreans have additional schools. Jews have Hebrew school. Mexicans have blah, blah, blah. If we think that America is going to finally realize how much wrong and they've stolen from us, you got another thing coming. If we don't build it for ourselves, we are fucked. I appreciate the Oprahs, but you build it in Africa, you need to build it home first and stop destroying black men. I have a big issue with her and Gail. All they do is denigrate black men and ass kiss white men.
But you're right. So I'm familiar with Marcus Garvey.
Right.
I put my daughter there. I think you're right. So having not only just a traditional education, but having an education that speaks to you, that speaks to your culture, that teaches you about your self-worth is super important. Right. So these are not the traditional public schools, right?
Even if you go to public school, but we got to start building our own public schools. We have to. I don't have the resources. I wrote this curriculum when I was in juvenile hall before I was Ras Kass. I wrote the book. I still have my book with my curriculum of the school I would want, the perfect school. Mm-hmm. I'm sure that this has always been in my heart. This is not me trying to become some other guy. I've just been who I've been for a long time. I self-actualized pretty early, and then I tried to execute. Things haven't gone the way I want, but the reality is, and I'm not trying to call out names to demean people, but your Oprahs and your Michael Jordans and your Jay-Z's and your Beyoncé's, you guys ass kiss these people that don't do shit for us. They don't, not on the whole, man. Yeah. And you know what? I was always taught this. This is an African thing. Me against my brother. Me and my brother against my uncle. Me and my brother. It's called filial piety. You take care of home first. That's what it basically means. So niggas want to go save whales and fucking dogs and people in other countries. We fucked up right here. We need to protect us. Black people have built everything, and I mean the black American, the so-called black American, we done built all this shit for the past fucking 200 years. The NASA programs, design in D.C., we are the fucking scientists. We are the ones, they didn't get all the bum niggas from Africa. They got a lot of the ill niggas.
Right.
Whether that person was called the Moor, that's just another term or Ethiop. Most of the countries in Africa are just different names and different languages that mean black. So I just wanted to wrap this up.
Yep.
I just feel like us waiting. We have to realize we're double citizens. We are citizens of America, and I'm cool with that. And I wish the best for this country, but I understand this country has not wanted the best for us. So I also have to understand that I'm a so-called black American. I'm a world African. And that I got to take care of my people first. And if our people started seeing that as our underlying first things first, we are world Africans. Secondarily, I'm a fucking American.
Well, yeah, and I do think we have to take care of ourselves
because other people see it that way,
and we can't rely on other people to kind of drive.
It's not
that
even
agenda,
relying.
Right? But I guess where I want to go is to get those type of educational outcomes, to get those changes in those educational outcomes. We support people that fight against that. Right? I mean, the Bernie Sanders of the world, the liberals, the leftists, the Democrats, they hate school choice. Like they want everybody in a public school, the same failing public schools that we've had forever. So why do we do that?
Well, I would say this: those public schools didn't fail when they had their kids in them. But in 1950, 1960,
the tactics have evolved, and we're in the situation where
they created those tactics. And that's why they started creating
right. So why don't we get away from those tactics? Why don't we try to get away from those tactics?
I don't necessarily look.
Charter schools, Felicia, can you pull up CO1, C1? I mean, charter schools perform better than public schools on a whole, right?
Okay.
Right. We'll show a stat that the graduation rate from college, right, if you went to a charter school versus a public school, 5 times higher.
5 times higher.
So we need to push for, in my opinion, those type of things. But we support people.
So what is LeBron's school for the kids?
He pays for everyone to go to college.
Yeah, he's the man. Like that's what's stepping up to me. Yeah, now, is that a charter school? What is that?
I think it is a charter school, but don't
see. It's a regular public school, but it's him. And he didn't say white kids couldn't come or Mexicans, but he knows what the predominant people.
That's working outside of the system that we typically work in, right? Right. With the NEA and the Teachers Association, they're not with that.
I'm with you in whatever it takes to give. Every human should be allowed, especially in a country of this kind of wealth, in a state with this kind of wealth. Mm-hmm. Honestly, I'm not a fucking Republican or a Democrat. I think they're two sides of fuckery.
Sure.
But one's way worse. One's way worse.
Who's that?
The Republicans. They're totally worse.
But they want to give a school choice, though.
You know what? They talk a lot.
And I hate to say that. My bad. They give us. I hate to say they can give us shit. Right? They push for school choice.
But they also push for trickle down economics, which has been proven to destroy. It destroyed America. Destroyed.
We can go there, but hold on. So if we stay on education, though, they're pushing something that will work for us as opposed to leftists, the same status quo.
I'll tell you what, if that is the plus that they're pushing for, that would actually, if that affects change, that's something that you have more information on. Charter schools, if that is something that's a plus, I'm always about the plus. I don't care where it came from. Right. If it's a positive. If it's going to get a positive result, then I'm 100% with that.
So you're for the policy, you're not for the party. Me too. Like I don't care who wants to give a school choice, right? I wish Bernie Sanders or Joe Biden would want to give a school choice, right? I wish they would push for that, right? But they're not.
Well, right? But then that's so that would be a great thing if that is going to create the outcome, the desired outcome. I don't know because it's not my specifics.
Right. Well, I mean, so you do have